Nearly 1,000 ULEZ, let's just call them ULEZ, cameras have been stolen or damaged in the last 7 months. I mean, no, I would never encourage. I would never encourage such criminal behaviour. Yes, I know Lawrence Fox. However, I'm not involved with anything that he said on GB News. Right? Although I'm going to be on GB News soon. Oh, I miss Calvin. But no, I'm not. I'm not involved in any of that, and I would not encourage or endorse any criminal behaviour whatsoever. But anyway, let's go into the article. As two people are charged with criminal damage, ULEZ cameras have been attacked nearly 1,000 times in just 7 months, shocking figures reveal. Sadiq Khan's expansion of the ultra-low emission zone to cover the whole of Greater London, meaning people who drive in the area with a polluting vehicle must pay a £12.50 daily fee, has been met with anger by affected motorists. There have been widespread evidence of cameras and vans becoming the target of activists as they are sprayed with paint or even toppled in an effort to halt the taxing drivers, which came in on August 29th. Because one thing that they don't understand is, and we've discussed this many, many times, is, poor people can't just go out and buy a new car. They can't do it. They can't just go out and buy a new car. You need money to do that. However, they are never going to be able to buy the new car because you're charging them £12.50 a day because they have to use the car they currently have now to go to work to earn the money. Right? Do you understand how farcical that is, Sadiq Khan? I mean, you do. You just don't care. None of this actually is about the environment in any way whatsoever because there's a thing called fucking wind that still brings pollution into the city, into and out of the city, right? Even though the ULEZ in Glasgow, they've already done tests and they've realised that it's had no effect on the pollutants in the atmosphere after it being in position for like about a few months. You know that, right? These things don't work. So why are they in place? It's because the government makes money. It's another way to steal money from the poor. It's another form of taxation. It's another form of theft. Right? So it's all the environment. The environment, no, it's not. You're making yourselves richer. You've realised that the taxes coming through just now do not support all of the benefits. All the new migrants coming into the country that are claiming benefits, you don't have the money for it. And you've realised that, don't you? You don't have the fucking money for it. So you've started inventing all these new taxes and ways to earn even more money, which aren't going to help. Right, the horse is out of the barn. You're not getting him back in, right? And that's all this was. It's just thievery. It's just another way to make money. Today, the Met Police said there have been 987 crimes relating to the cameras in the capital, including 220 reports of them being stolen and 767 being damaged. The force also confirmed there have been 5 arrests and 2 charges in relation to the attacks. Is that expanding foam? That's brilliant. I mean, it's not. I condemn any and all destruction of government property. It's an awful, terrible thing to do, and you shouldn't do it. How naughty. They include a 52-year-old man arrested on suspicion of criminal damage and a 45-year-old man held on suspicion of conspiring to commit criminal damage to ULEZ cameras. I think that's Lawrence Fox. I legit think that's Lawrence Fox they're talking about, or assisting offences to be committed, both of whom have been bailed until December. A 44-year-old man was also arrested and charged with criminal damage in May, but had his case discontinued by the CPS the following month. Joseph Nichols, 42, of Footscray High Street, Sidcup, was charged with criminal damage, malicious communications and handling stolen goods, as well as aiding or abetting the destruction of or damage to property valued over £5,000. He has been bailed ahead of trial at the Woolwich Crown Court on 10th June 2024. Stephen Nunn, 39, of West Wickham, Bromley, was charged on Saturday, 28th of October, with criminal damage. He's been released on bail and is due to appear at Bromley Magistrates Court on Monday, the 13th of November. It comes after it emerged last month that wardens policing the ULEZ were wearing balaclavas to hide their faces after weeks of clashes with Blade Runners activists who aimed to sabotage the scheme. No, I'm not going to give words of support. What am I talking about? I condemn this behaviour. Vans with automatic number plate recognition have been rolled out by the London Mayor in an attempt to curb the rise in ULEZ-related crimes, but enforcement officers are now donning balaclavas, sunglasses, caps and dark clothing in a bid to conceal their identities as they face an increase in abuse from angry residents and protesters. I mean, understandably so, you're stealing from them. You're stealing from them. You're punishing them for being too poor to avoid one of your new fancy hybrids or electric cars. That's what you're doing. Like, they need money to buy the new cars you want them to have. They're not going to get that money if you keep charging them the money because they don't have the cars that you want them to have. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. This is one of the dumbest programs out there, right? Because it's so transparent. It's clear that this isn't about the environment. It's just theft to steal more money. That's it. That's the reason why people are reacting to this so badly. It's just blatant theft. Oh, look at that. It's a shame. They claim, meanwhile, the mounting cost of the scheme remains under wraps as Transport for London refused to reveal how much they are having to spend replacing destroyed equipment used to implement it. Now, again, I'm not encouraging any criminal behaviour in any way whatsoever, but basically you get something, hopefully the government doesn't, hopefully the government doesn't engage in sunk cost fallacy, but, you know, Afghanistan. But, one way, I'm not encouraging any criminal behaviour in any way whatsoever, right? One way that you can try and get the government to back off is if it costs so much more to implement the scheme and replace all these cameras over the money that they're actually making in theft. If it costs way more just to keep the scheme running than what they are bringing in, that could possibly shut down the scheme. I'm not encouraging anyone to do that in any way whatsoever. Genuinely, like, do not engage in criminal behaviour. Naughty. I'll be so mad. I'll be so mad if you get caught doing that. I'll be so mad if you get caught. I mean, don't. They claim disclosing the cost would be a risk to public safety, as someone may be hurt in the act of destruction. That does not make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. We're not going to tell anyone how much this costs because someone might get hurt. Who? Like, I don't understand that. Slamming the move, Taxpayers Alliance, who campaign against wasteful government spending, Jesus, they must be busy, said taxpayers deserve to know the full cost of the ULEZ. Yes, we do. We 100% absolutely do. If our money's going towards it, we get to know exactly how much, and obviously why it's been, well, we know why it's been implemented. So you can steal more money. Since August 29th, ULEZ has been expanded from the north and circular roads to cover the whole of Greater London. People who drive in the zone with a polluting vehicle and fail to pay the £12.50 daily fee are initially being sent warning letters. But in the coming weeks, TfL is expected to start issuing rule breakers with £180 fines, which could rise to £250. If paid within 14 days, it is reduced to £90. There you are. There you go. A Scotland Yard spokesperson, that's going to make a lot of money. That's probably to try and offset the money it's costing them to replace all the ULEZ cameras. A Scotland Yard spokesperson said today, the Met continues to treat criminal activity in relation to the ULEZ. The ULEZ itself is criminal activity. It's theft. It's theft. You're making up a bullshit excuse so that people have to give you money. You're literally no different than the mafia guy walking in and saying, nice bar. It'd be a real shame if something happened to it. But if you give me this much every week, there's literally no difference. You're going to everyone, nice car. Shame it pollutes the fucking environment. You owe us £12.50 a day tax on that fucking car. And they can't buy a new car because they're paying £12.50 a day in tax. You're the criminals, right? You know that. You know that the government are the criminals for stealing from everyone all the time. And then you send the jackboots around to people's house when they don't pay. Literally no different from a mafia. Literally no different. Where there are possible lines of inquiry, local investigators will follow up using a range of investigative approaches, including CCTV trawls, witness searches, and an assessment of forensic opportunities. Right, I've covered that. I have nothing further to say on the matter.